The harvest is definitely on. I mean, we just need the church to wake up. I'm scared that the church is perhaps less passionate than it's been for generations. In the UK, large part of the church, you've got used to just sitting in the bed in the pyjamas watching church online. But where there's faith and vision, wow, the growth is spectacular.
It's March 2022 and once again Roger and I are on the road looking for signs of hope and revival to bring some encouragement and good news. We're in the Telford and Wrekin area of Shropshire, and this time we're going to look at a couple of churches.
For the sick and the broken, for the hungry and the poor, you have set your hope in me.
Our first visit was All Nations Telford. This church is in a converted car showroom. What signs of hope and revival would we find here? Actually, one clear sign is a community grocery store attached to the church itself. All Nations has partnered with the Message Trust in Manchester in setting up this store. At the morning gathering, the guest speaker was actually Andy Hawthorne of the Message Trust. Andy is passionate about the way that community groceries bring real hope.
One day a week you could give to just serving in this grocery here, because imagine what it's going to be like in April when fuel prices go up by 54%. I mean, it's frightening every time you drive past a petrol station, don't you think? I mean, lots of us, that's just going to mean we've got less disposable income. If you're already crippled with debt, you don't know how you're going to pay your bills at the moment, and you've got debt collectors knocking on your door, imagine what that's going to be, and imagine how timely the community grocery here in Telford is.
And he also spoke about Festival Manchester 2022 as a sign for revival.
We're organising at the moment, in partnership with around 500 churches, the largest mission we've ever done in Manchester, called Festival Manchester, believing for every street to be prayed for, thousands of Christians to be trained in evangelism, and 100,000 people to turn up in Wythenshawe Park at the end of it. It's a vast endeavour, and again, we're right out there in faith on this thing.
All Nations is a multicultural, multi-campus church centred on Jesus. Rick Call and his wife Sarah are leaders of the Telford campus. They also have hopes of many people coming to Jesus in the season ahead.
There's a stadium down the road there. What would it look like for us to step out in faith? Just like these guys are believing for 100,000 people to be filled in a park, could we believe for, 5,000, 10,000 young people, older people, hear the gospel of Jesus Christ? What will it take? It'll take a bit of money, it'll take a bit of hard work and effort, but could we see something happen in our time, in our generation, for our people here in Telford and Shropshire? So watch your space. I've just got a little bit excited standing there thinking, God, could you do something here? If you can do it in Manchester, you can do it here.
For the free and the helpless, for the wounded and the hurt.
Evan and Pam Robinson have been part of All Nations Telford from early days.
I had a vision and I went to see Rick, the pastor, and I said, you're going to have to move that back screen further back. And he said, why is that? I says, because the church is going to grow.
It's not big enough.
In fact, they had to turn the whole church around to get more chairs in. Both Evan and Pam are also excited about the work and ministry of the community grocery.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
Why is it so amazing, Pam?
Well, it gives me pleasure to see the people come through the door. We don't know the backgrounds, we don't know who they are.
We don't know their status.
As we go along and they come twice a week, we get that rapport with them and they get to have a chat, and sometimes they need to unload So it gives us an opportunity to pray with them or to give advice about something. But also alongside that, because that's important for me, to be helping in that way, you can see them are getting fed bodily as well as spiritually.
Yeah.
They come and they spend their £3 or so, and they go away with bags of food. And it just touches me to think they've gone home with food to feed their family.
And through this, have you seen people coming to Jesus, giving their lives to Jesus?
Yes, for the space of a short 2-month period, we had a total in excess of 85 people come to Christ.
Yeah.
It was so phenomenal.
It's a modern way of doing what Jesus did, isn't it?
Yes.
He fed the 5,000, didn't he? With just the bread and the fish, a small amount, and he just multiplied.
Andy Hawthorne actually invited us into the community grocery store to talk about the signs of hope and revival that he is seeing.
When we first started partnering here in Telford, they were meeting monthly. And so many grocery members have come to Christ that they had to start meeting weekly. And it was, a couple of hundred people, so many new Christians. And the best moment in the service, well, it's always good when people come to Jesus, that happened. But the best moment was when the pastor said, next week, we've got 26 baptisms here in Telford. And this church is just growing on the back of new life as they reach out through the community grocery and feed people's physical needs. But also at the heart of this grocery is the bread of life. The harvest is on. I've never known a time in my Christian life when it's been easier to see people give their life to Jesus. People are desperate. People have been faced by their own mortality for 2 years of a global pandemic. We've gone straight into a war in Europe. People are asking the big questions, and Jesus has got the big answers. So I'm as excited about what God's doing in our nation as ever. We just need the church to wake up and make the most of these unique and incredible opportunities we've got.
And finally, we met Fifi, who volunteers at the shop.
Well, yeah, there's a grocery shop here, cheaper can go in. But then when they come in, they realize, oh no, it's actually the house of God. Makes sense? We've won a lot of souls that just come in for food and wait, hang on, it's a church. They walk in, oh, that's beautiful, I'll come visit on Sundays. And we've seen a lot of testimonies, people coming.
It's such an easy way to come into a church community, isn't it?
Yeah.
Through something that is an everyday need, which is food.
Sweet, yeah, you're right, absolutely. And I pray that God will increase this, make it big, maybe bigger than farm food across the street. Everybody can just come and get something to. I love to see people smiling. When somebody's hungry, they can't smile, isn't it? If you're starving, you can't be happy. But if you're able to get something to eat, somewhere to sleep, at least that's all life matters. All the money we're looking for in the world is just to get somewhere to sleep, drive in our car instead of walking. That's it. We're gonna leave them all behind. So why do you choose those about your precious life that God has given you? So
Fifi, it's been such a joy to talk to you.